How do you start loving yourself? Like self-care and saying affirmations, etc. I don't encourage people to do affirmations because I feel like for most people, your logical mind comes in and goes, this isn't going to work. I don't believe this. So instead, the two things that I have people start with are check in with your brain. What is your brain saying to you all day? Imagine that if your brain were a person following you around and you were listening to a person say all the shit that is going on in your head, would you want to hang out with that person? Would you want that person with you all day? So remember how we were talking about when we're crying, when we're having a hard time, noticing the judgments that come into our head of ourselves? Notice what this voice is saying to you all day. That's how you start loving yourself. Because that self-talk, you're being bathed in it all day. If it's a negative monologue, if it's a diminishing monologue, if it's unkind to you, you're bathing in that all day, and that's keeping you from loving yourself. So get really intimately aware, really radically honest about what is happening in my head and what am I believing about me. So that's step one. I call that loving accountability, really noticing what's in your brain. The other part of the scale is acknowledgement, not affirmation, not gratitude, acknowledgement. And it's based in the fact that you every single day do things that are worthy, worthwhile, and endearing, lovable. You have things that you do every single day that are worthy of love, that are worthy of some acknowledgement. And so if you don't love yourself right now, saying, I love you, self, and looking in the mirror is not going to help you. Saying, I appreciate who you are is not going to help you. But if you can look back at your day and you can go, you know what? You spent a lot of time thinking about that difficult conversation that you had to have. And it really did not go the way you wanted. But I just want to acknowledge all the thoughtful preparation that you did before you got there. And I want to honor your big heart and your good intention and your willingness to lean in. That was really beautiful, and that was hard. It took courage. It's things like that. Even if it blows up in your face, what was in your heart? What were your intentions? Give yourself credit for that. Notice where you're being kind. Notice where you're becoming more aware of your brain and give yourself credit. Notice when you're being courageous, when you're showing up in a new way. Give yourself credit. So if you want to start loving yourself, it's catching your brain and it's acknowledging you're human. And that's going to start tipping the scales back in a positive direction. But we need both things. Loving accountability / radical honesty with where we're starting from and what the voice says, and acknowledgement. What do you authentically deserve acknowledgement for? You have to believe it. You can't blow smoke up your own ass. You have to actually mean what you're saying to yourself, or it's not going to land the same way.